Bitcoin has just made history with its highest weekly close of all time. And I know if you follow the channel on a regular day-to-day basis, I'm sure you guys can probably say, Crypto ZX, you've said that like 3 to 4 times over the course of the last, a week and a half to be exact. That's right. Bitcoin is making history. It's showing so much strength right now that pretty much over the course of the last, I would say 2 weeks, we're actually seeing, the highest close of all time. And that shows you the interest that's coming towards Bitcoin right now. We're going to get a little bit more into that, but welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. To the XRP holders, appreciate you guys as always. Let's analyze and take a look at what's happening as we are starting off a brand new week. You're looking at the price of XRP up 4.5%, in USD comparative over the last 1 hour. We're seeing a little bit of a minor pullback, and of course, I will highlight as to why that is. And what's the reason why we're seeing a little bit of a retracement. As far as the dollar amount is concerned, $2.91, up 0.5% in Bitcoin comparative valuation, above 170 billion again, to be exact, 172.8 billion dollars, and the 24-hour trading volume currently sitting at about $9 billion. It's starting to pick up yet again. Of course, Tuesday, a very, very big day. Obviously, the SEC has until Tuesday to kind of come out and say whether or not the ProShares spot ETF goes live or not. They can even come and say tomorrow. So today, it's already July 14th right now. I'm recording this update midnight. As you guys know, we talk about XRP every day, and I usually make these updates midnight here in North America. So we'll see what happens. But yes, SEC can come out even today and say whether or not they are delaying this. If not, this could be a huge, huge week for XRP. So let's analyze and see what's happening. But before we do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I want to talk about this here first. And we talk about Bitcoin on a regular day-to-day basis because it's the key indicator. It's a king of the market. What Bitcoin does, it speaks a lot of volume. And you can see this is not normal. We have reached a point where Bitcoin is moving in a literally straight line higher. Rates are rising. So it's not like rates are cut. Rates are still quite high, and yet you're seeing BTC thriving, gold is thriving, silver is thriving. And you can see rates are rising. The USD dollar, so the DXY, is down 11% in 6 months, and crypto is up $1 trillion in 3 months. What's happening? Is Bitcoin finally seen as a hedge against inflation? Look what this says. Bitcoin has reached a point where it is quite literally making new all-time highs multiple times a day, and that's what we have seen literally just yesterday. A Sunday, we saw 3 different all-time highs. It's just crazy to think about. But since the U.S. has passed President Trump's big, beautiful bill, on July 3rd, Bitcoin is up $15,000. If the surge in gold prices didn't alert you, Bitcoin should. So does it get any more obvious than this? Take a look at the year-to-date performance of the Bitcoin and U.S. dollar index. There is 2 distinct points of divergence: April 9th after the 90-day tariff pause, and July 1st as a big beautiful bill was passed. It's beyond clear, and it's just pretty much seen as an asset class. People understand the scarcity of it, and it is, of course, originally created to be a hedge against inflation. And now these big organizations, governments around the globe, they're actually seeing it as that. Hence, you're seeing trillions of dollars flowing into BTC. Now, if you're looking at this, President Trump calls the Fed Chair Jerome Powell to step down. He says Jerome Powell has been very bad for our country. We should have we should have the lowest interest rate on earth, and we don't. Pretty much talking about more and more and more interest rate cuts. And as of now, we haven't seen a rate cut at all. And of course, remember July 25th of this month, FOMC meeting. CPI numbers go live this Tuesday. So what are your predictions on that? If CPI numbers are better than expected, maybe like if you're looking at BTC now, if you're looking at the equity market, if you're looking at this gold prices, if you're looking at even like I said earlier, silver, they're soaring. So is this finally time where you do see a first rate cut happening? If a rate cut happens, guys, I think this could be huge for the market, maybe giving crypto markets even more of a push, because of course when interest rates go down, gives regular investors more opportunity to invest the money they save from the interest rates going down elsewhere. So that is the beauty of interest rates being cut. We'll see what happens, but again, these things are aligning. But take a look at this. SBI Remit is using Ripple's XRP as a bridge currency to allow fast and cost-effective remittance. And, ISO 20022 opens the floodgates for banks. After Fedwire goes live with the ISO format for both sending and receiving in summer 2025, which is literally tomorrow, there will be another major development in the fall. In November 2025, SWIFT will adopt MX message types for wire processing. And yes, XRP, the native token, we discussed this in my last update as well. A lot of people confuse this. The native token XRP is not ISO compliant. It's RippleNet that is ISO compliant, and RippleNet is what banks could potentially start using with the ISO standard obviously going live. And once the banks use the RippleNet, that's where XRP's use case really comes into play. So that's where the excitement comes in, when we talk about the ISO standard, being adopted. Look at this. Breaking: CEO of SBI Global Asset Management, Tomio, says this is not just another crypto. This is the wealth transfer for our generation. According to him, this is his personal opinion. But you're talking about some big players, really focusing on XRP. And speaking about XRP, you're starting to see over the last 90 days a major uptick, within the searches that are happening for XRP on Google. Shouldn't really be a surprise because, market is heating up. This does tend to happen. But of course, if you're looking at the last 12 months, we are still nowhere near as to where we were late last year. So if you're looking at the dominance, we did see a major uptick. Shouldn't really be a surprise to any one of us because Bitcoin broke out towards a new all-time high, currently sitting at $122,129. BTC is pretty much reaching all-time highs after all-time highs, as stated earlier. It's looking amazing, and maybe at the time of you watching this update, Bitcoin's already above a new all-time high. Things are looking amazing right now. And as far as XRP is concerned, we did end up reaching $2.97 once again. You can see this for yourself, really right at the neckline. So pretty much confirmation. As you guys know, I look for confirmations, and what I stated to you guys before, just on the 11th June, that we are going to see this wick being filled in. That's exactly what ended up happening. And we got stopped out of that range. Of course, it is a resistance. And I personally think if we break out of this range, guys, I am projecting a new all-time high this week for XRP. So if you think this is excitement, wait till we see the price of XRP go into the price discovery mode. That would be quite something. And since, obviously July 11th, high, which was around the 297, we did see a retracement of about 10%, but pretty much now we have filled that weekend. So right now, your eyes should be around the $3 price point. We want to turn this into resistance. If it's able to do that, I'm personally projecting a new all-time high this upcoming week for XRP. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Comment down below Moon if you have watched it till the end. Thank you for your support. I'll see you later. It's been Crypto ZX, and peace out.